All right, with all the news that's been happening all day today, we actually have another official gameplay trailer for Dead Space rebuilt, remastered. So let's jump into this, check it out, see. I recently just played through Dead Space 1 over again, and it was definitely one of those things of I think they really need to redo some of the story beats in Dead Space 1. It just feels very like Dead Space 1 was great when it came out, but it's definitely a product of its time. And just the way that some of the story beats happen, it's like, yeah, okay, we know where this is going. Also, just the way that, everybody treats Isaac in the main story, it's just like, yeah, this is very, like around the 2010s mark of game design and just story design overall too. So, anyways, let's jump into this and see if maybe they did change up a bit and updated the story a little bit. If they didn't, I don't know if this game is going to it'll sell well, but I don't know if it's going to hit critically with fans of the series as much as they would want to bring in new fans into the series and all that. When Callisto Protocol is a thing, like this is kind of a hard sell at this point because Callisto Protocol looks, just better overall in the storyline. So let's check this out. Oh, and we're gonna go full screen.
Ishimura. This is the emergency maintenance team of the USG Kelly responding to your distress call.
Right.
Isaac Clarke.
Whoa.
What have you got, Isaac?
Half the Ishimuras in the red.
This does look
Engines,
way better
the
graphically.
Can you handle it alone?
Fix the centrifuge. Get the fuel running.
Wow.
This is Senior Medical Officer Nicole Brennan. Medical is overwhelmed. We need help.
Right. Uh-huh. Oh, it's like a bubble now instead. Okay. Right, and it's the same boss fight. The tentacle monsters.
Humanity will be made whole, Mr. Clarke. With
The marker looks a lot different.
Isaac, it's me. It's all falling apart here. I can't believe what's happening.
Nicole?
Okay, so after going back and playing Dead Space 1 over again, I feel like I can do a lot better of a breakdown of this trailer now, because it's been like a decade since I played it before. So yes, we are going to the Ishimura. Ishimura looks pretty similar, but we can see a lot more detail on the planet itself. So this is the opening area right here. The lighting is drastically different. There's actually shine on the floor and everything. That was one of the things going back and playing Dead Space 1 again. It was just like, man, the graphics kind of didn't hold up as well as what you would think it might have. It definitely one of the big things too is we're hearing Isaac actually talks. So this could actually be more of a remake than a remaster. If they are changing up again, the difference between a remaster and a remaster, you don't change anything, you just update graphics and such. But yeah, the whole thing of them changing up storyline a little bit and all that is considered a remake because they are changing things up. So yeah, it's definitely interesting because we are seeing there's 100% like this room is definitely, it's returning again. This guy looks a lot different. This guy was a lot more of like, kind of oogly boogly says, while he was just knocking himself out or trying to kill himself or whatever. Tear off the limbs. Okay, so she was, she's like operating on him and then turns around and yeah, and takes herself out. This looks a lot more censored though than what it was in the original, so that's something a lot different there. Cut off the limbs. That was something that was just like you could definitely tell the game came out in 2008 because they just kept saying it over and over and over again. Cut off the limbs. Cut off the limbs. Cut off the limbs. It's like yes, okay. You don't need to tell me maybe twice. I get it. So yeah, a lot of the same boss fights, a lot of the tentacle monster stuff that's happening. It seems like we might actually have more zero G gravity scenes, which would make sense because we have the newer technology that's happening. Again, though, a lot of the same boss fights, so expect a lot of tentacle monster fights. Yeah, the marker looks a whole lot different. It's way more detailed. I'm kind of wondering if they're actually going to change up the initial tentacle scene because that was a giant production nightmare for the original development team, making the original Dead Space. So hearing him talk though, that's opening up a whole world of questions in my brain of how much is the storyline going to change? Is he going to start talking to Nicole and then he thinks she's talking back to him and then there's that whole story, dynamic of is she alive? Is she dead still? Yeah, like, and then how much is this going to be if it is like a actual remake and they're retelling story? How much of this game is going to tie in? Are they just going to retcon the second and third game and they're going to try and redo Dead Space into a new, kind of like Resident Evil has done with its series? Like, there's so many questions that are popping up off from this video. That we really don't have answers to just yet. I think we might just have to end up running through the storyline to see exactly what ends up happening. So yeah, it's again, I probably have different questions, but just as many questions since the first time that we saw this. And it is a January 27th next year, so early next year. This is going to drop. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what ends up happening. I'm still kind of more hyped up for Callisto Protocol now after coming back and playing Dead Space 1. But this could be good if they are retelling the story and actually going to, amp up everything that ends up happening. Because again, Dead Space was a product of its time. It was a good game back in 2008. A lot of it is kind of like gimmicky stuff that has been done so many times because there's been a lot of games that have copied Dead Space that are now modern day stuff. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. They're also running this on Frostbite engine. I just noticed. Oh no, Frostbite engine definitely has a lot of problems with it. So we'll see how polished it is. We'll see if it works. Yeah. Anyways, go and check out the rest of the YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, hit the bell and all that stuff to see when all the new videos are coming up and everything. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for stopping by. And as always, I will see ya next time.